Hello viewers, well this week I visited Namco Bandai to check out Racer Unbounded. You can see here having a little tour around the sort of press area we were at on the 10th floor of the building, very high up. The nice plushes there, I always like the Namco plushes, lots of cool stuff. The Pac-Man ghosts are great, a couple of Tekken guys there, fighting it out, having a little tour, and you can see in here the lucky journalists getting a hands-on Ridge Racer and Ace Combat and some of the other top titles that Namco Bandai have got coming out over the next year. Everyone having lots of fun there, getting a great opportunity. I was impressed by this artwork as well, really nice art banners dotted around the room. Look at that, fantastic. Ace Combat, we couldn't film it, was a lot of fun. Not a simulator in the slightest, but a lot of fun and very intense. So lots of people having fun, let's look at some Ridge Racer. Okay, so here we are then, this is my first go. First time play. There's no music to it yet, there's just the sound effects. This is a very early version, game's not due out for over a year, so it's my first hands-on, figuring out how to play it. Only the outside view available at the moment, couldn't go in car. It does have a very sort of burnout look and feel to it. The car, as I was saying earlier, does seem to be somewhat detached from some of the backgrounds at times. So if you press A, you can see in the bottom right hand corner there, boost, and so I'm boosting through a destroy area. If you press boost when you're behind a rival car, you destroy that car as well. So it's a very sort of vicious driving action. Going in the tunnel here, interestingly the tunnel supports dissolve like paper when you hit them. They're just polystyrene, should I say. There we go, no effect. This car is hard as nails, so it's certainly all action to kick off with. I wouldn't say you get the feeling of speed necessarily from outside the car. I did want to drive inside the car and see how I got on there, but either way, racing along. So I'm in the lead now. Of course, when you're in the lead, you've got nobody to bash into, so it is slightly more difficult building up your score. You've got to do a lot more drifting, and I haven't got the hang of the drifting at all. I just couldn't figure out how to drive it. This would normally be a drift point, and I just couldn't get the drift as I wanted to. Either the car went into a drift and it'd be too slow, but we'll see a bit of that at the moment. So comfortable lead, got away. Here's a drift point here, gone into a drift, and you can see not too bad. I think that's one of the best drifts I do, and I don't know why or how. But destroying more buildings, I want to destroy as many as possible. That's the idea behind the game, really. There are these structured destroy points, so you're always charging, a bit like the old Nitro charge in the previous Ridge Racer title. So honestly, I wouldn't compare this to Ridge Racer at all, because it's nothing like Ridge Racer. In a way, I kind of wish I hadn't called it Ridge Racer. I wish I called it something else. Using the boost option there, you can see there, it produces a very Burnout-esque sort of incident. You know, it does, like moments like that, the sort of replays of the cars being destroyed are sort of very Burnout. And racing through the city here, there is a bit of a rubber band AI on this version as well. I do find that you can have a great lead and they just come up and overtake you and there's nothing you can do. It's almost like they're unaffected, essentially. Again, no, this is all very early, so it's not representative of the final game. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of detail laid onto it. Nice reflections on the car though, you know, nice little spot effects here and there. I noticed the car behind was slightly out of focus, nice little detail. Developers always finding new ways to use the graphics. There we go, using the boost again to destroy the car in front, defend my lead. Ouch, that driver there had an unhappy end to their day. So racing through the tunnel, again more traffic would be cool there. That tunnel actually does remind me of Burnout 1, actually. Those who remember Burnout 1 will recognise a very similar look to the tunnel. Of course the tunnels in Burnout 1 were always so difficult because you couldn't hit any traffic at all back then. You know, it made the games easier as it went on. I shouldn't really comment about other games when I'm talking about this one, but it does have similarities that are unescapable when you look at it. As I destroy another car there, I made the decision to destroy the car rather than the building. Don't know if that was the right one. Again, trying this power slide. No idea how to get it. Do you know how you get this power slide right? It just seems more luck than judgment to me every time. Hit the buttons right in there, hope for the best. Didn't really understand how the wheel spin was working. You know, do I come off the power to get out the slide? Do I go on the power and keep the wheels spinning? How do I stop the car going wide? I don't know. That's something I wasn't able to figure out in my time. So falling down to 3rd place now, despite leading the entire race. Not much I could do about it, honestly. That was just one of those things. You just have to kind of hope for the best, really, despite the amount of cars I took out there. But first introduction to it, so I know how to play the game now. On to another go then. So having a second go. Again, I wanted to complete. I thought I'm not going to walk away with a 3rd place. No, I've got to have a win. Sort it out. And away we go. No mucking about now. You know. This is how you take care of business. So starting again. I've got an idea now of what I want to do, how to charge my bar a little bit better. I mean, you do need to link incidents together if you can. You know, if you take out, make sure whenever you use your boost, you're doing something with it, whether it's destroying a building or taking out another car, something like that. I noticed that the power slide worked for me better. I did it earlier into the corner, but again, more luck than judgment for me, really. Quite high speed racing with these other cars. There wasn't much I was going to do to avoid that cab. Fast and furious into this tunnel. This is an area where the lighting isn't quite right under the car. They need to sort out the shadows and stuff like that. It's still very, very early to be shown, really. In a way, it's probably a little bit too early in some respects. Certainly has a long way to go. Though I personally do hope one day to see a proper Ridge Racer game, you know. This in many ways is kind of the sequel to Flat Out, as people say, or just the Namco Bandai attempt at a Burnout style title. There is some crazy car smashing action. Again here battling for position. No need to give up though. In some ways it's actually easier for me now I'm battling with the other cars, because I'm constantly getting the ability to use my boost and to close up on other cars as well. So and I missed that one there. That was a wasted opportunity. Did my power slide and look, the car just wasn't having it, you know, just wouldn't turn into the corner. Whatever, I'd certainly need to find out why. It wasn't obvious to me what you were supposed to do to keep the car power sliding in the right direction. Again, so slow sometimes when it's power sliding like that. I suppose that's kind of the point though, in the sense that you use that to charge up. But again, stretches like this you do feel a bit sluggish. Don't necessarily feel the speed of 180 mile an hour. Thought I'd do this building one. You know, I haven't done this one before. There we go. See the globe there collapsing in. Lovely. Through the building. Lovely. That's nice. That certainly helped with some points and some positions. Thought I'd do that corner without sliding this time, simply because I found I was losing too much speed by always sliding the car. And again here through the well, some would say drifting, wouldn't they? Drifting is what I'm supposed to say now. I'm not supposed to say sliding anymore. I'm drifting the car through the tunnel again. Take that guy out now. I'm not mucking about. Come on. Boom. That's what he gets. Now I'm on 1st place. I'm thinking, right, I need to charge up my boost. You know, the car just wasn't going to make the corner there, so let's get risky. It didn't give me points for going on the wrong side of the road though. Boo. Actually, that's another factor actually though. It doesn't feel like Ridge City, does it? And I think that's another issue. It does feel like it's a completely different setting, a completely different world. But, I won't keep on about the whole Ridge Racer thing. As I say, you take every game in its own right, and this is very early at the moment, so you know we don't know what modes and how the game's going to feel and look in the final game, how much more there's going to be to it, and I think it'll probably be E3 next year before we see something representative. And you know, I know games can move on an awful long way in that time. So on my final lap, I'm just kind of hoping for the best now, that I can actually hold the lead, because again, nothing to bash into or muck about with. I thought, well, let's not slide the car too much now, because it is just so slow when you're drifting it around those corners. So I thought use the final boost, I'm on the final straight, and there was a quick win there as well. So that's a couple of goes at Ridge Racer Unbounded. And now on this final section, I just thought I would see how many cars I could get together in a pile-up. So I thought I'd just block the road. There is a lot of traffic. You can see here masses of cars coming down the tunnel. I thought let's just see what we can do really and bash a few cars up. See they're all crashing into each other. Nice. Must be at least the best part of 20 cars. My car was a bit damaged then, failed. So I thought well let's bash them out of the way. See what we can do. Now I also noticed that doing a donut will increase your bar as well, so not just a proper drift, just sliding around in a circle for a moment will give you a full bar. So I thought well, see if I can bash into these and power up my bar. It's got to be done, isn't it? Have a little muck about, see how the new sort of system's working here. There we go, I'm ready now, so I just want to boost. Boom! Send some cars through the air. Lovely. And I'll go back again. So just you know, just a muck about, see what we can do. But that's a first hand on the new Ridge Racer Unbounded, and I'm sure there'll be more to come soon.